Hello, I'm back. Definitely moving through a lot of very deep feelings, a very deep process. And so I'm very curious to see what God's message is right now. So I'm going to draw from the Holy Bible, and we're just going to dive right in. This is from Isaiah 30:26. Judgment on Assyria. Behold, the name of the Lord comes from afar, burning with his anger, and his burden is heavy. His lips are full of indignation, and his tongue like a devouring fire. His breath is like an overflowing stream, which reaches up to the neck to sift the nations with the sieve of futility. And there shall be a bridle in the jaws of the people, causing them to err. Okay. Yep. I was already feeling this as being related to the message. It's right before a passage of the folly of not trusting God. And yeah, of course, I've been sharing videos. It's taken me to a very deep place, inviting me to go deeper within myself. Um, it's yeah, I want to make sure I take this word God. Burning with his anger, and his burden is heavy. His lips are full of indignation. So, what I felt that I wanted to communicate originally, I think this passage is confirming that, is I have a duty to report that I have met the Christ. I have met him. He is here. His movement is here. And this triggers a lot of people. Obviously, there's a lot of lashback. And honestly, it's not that different from when Jesus was here, if you really think about it. And I mean, here you're going to be getting it from a word from somebody who, was a direct follower and fell out. So take that into mind. I recognize that my story is one who, basically, Jeff and Shaleia are giving people the chance to create the kingdom of heaven in their life. And it is a very serious and enormous responsibility. And a lot of people have been given these keys, and many people have chosen to not succeed. And that includes me and my story. Of course, I'm in the process of healing and making a new choice, but here's the comparison that God gave me. And this is just a rough comparison, just to paint a picture. It's like the whole world is traveling on, let's say, horse and buggy, or just some very basic mode of travel. And God is here to teach those who are willing to drive a Ferrari. That is the gap in consciousness there. And let's say I undertake that process to learn. And God says, okay, just so you know, at the end of this, if you truly persist, you will have your own Ferrari, and it'll be on you to take care of that Ferrari. And so I train and I learn. But in my case, I learned the basics, but I realized I didn't dive deep into their teaching. I learned I really wanted the Ferrari, and I just did whatever I could to get the Ferrari without truly learning the ins and outs and truly learning how to deeply respect that car. And sure enough, God doesn't, God chooses, and God chose to give me a Ferrari. This was, of course, my harmonious union in 2020. And it was the most incredible experience, obviously, from what I was used to before, the horse and buggy, to driving a Ferrari. Was like, it was heaven. It was perfect love. It was perfect peace, perfect everything. But I did take it for granted. And basically, in the analogy, took it for a joyride and crashed it. And this is what people don't understand. This is the level of responsibility that God is giving people through Jeff and Shaleia. And God decides when you are ready for your harmonious union. And many people have taken it for a ride and not respected it, not chosen to honor what that gift is. It truly is without words. It's the most beautiful gift of love, because your twin flame is your reflection of your relationship with God. And many people are upset on how they've chosen to undertake that journey and sharing that upset. I'm choosing to just tell the truth about my experience. Um, you know, God still wants me to have a Ferrari because God created everyone to have their harmonious union, which is the Ferrari in this case, to be in harmonious union. That's the truth of your being. But also, life is real. So you crash a Ferrari, you have to pay that Ferrari off still. And that is a huge debt to pay. And then God has to trust you in a whole new way once you've paid that off. Okay, now are you going to handle that Ferrari? And it's going to be a different process the next time around, because God knows how you treated that Ferrari the first time. And God is a person. This is something Jeff and Shaleia teach. Um, you can't just go around disrespecting God and expect nothing to happen. God will always love you, but it doesn't mean that God just, as actually, I just watched a class about this. It doesn't mean he will like you. God is a person. He will love you unconditionally, but God doesn't like stinky behavior, because he loves you and he doesn't want to see you suffer, and he knows what behaviors cause you to suffer, and he's not going to support that behavior, is another way to put that. He will discipline you, and he will do whatever it takes, and God will do whatever it takes to teach you love. He's not afraid. God doesn't know fear. He knows love, and he will love you. And if you're the type to earn a Ferrari and crash it, he will have a very different method of teaching you how to respect his gifts, how to respect your relationship with him, because he doesn't desire that for you. He desires you, when he gives you wonderful things, he desires for you to treat that very well, for your life to take off. He's like, you were on a horse and buggy, and now I want you to soar in life. And I want you to treat that car with utmost respect, because I want you to soar not just for a little while, but continuously and forever. And that's why you have to build that relationship with God. God, that's how God wants your life to be, a steady stream of things getting better and better. But you have to build that relationship with God and that trust. And I bring this all up, so I'm kind of packaging a lot here, but I want you to take wherever you're at. And I'm obviously making, my personal statement here for Jeff and Shaleia. I need it to be clear that the choices I've made in my life and the healing I'm doing is not a reflection on them, because they are offering this incredible gift of harmonious union to the planet, the chance to be with your ultimate lover, which is your reflection of a relationship with God. And a relationship with God is utter bliss, utter happiness. And, but they recognize, they've said this to their students. Once you have your harmonious union, it's between you and God. They can't be you for you, and they can't be God for you. You, at some point, will be tested, and it'll be on you to prove where you're at. And I bring this up because there are many people who have succeeded in this work. You can just go on Twin Flames Universe, look at the Twin Flames Union, and see this. And of course, you can see many people who have chosen not to succeed and are being very vocal about their upsets and whatever. I don't really want to give that a lot of energy, but there is a fantastic gift on this planet, and I'm learning how to love, honor, and respect that gift. And I'm just making myself clear about where I stand, recognizing the choices I've made and where I'm at in my healing journey. But I do choose to respect my teachers. I do choose to respect my gurus, because if I was, I'm living in Christ's time. I'm living in the time of Christ. Do I want to be a Pharisee, or do I want to be a follower of Christ? And there are many followers of Christ who had a path of healing, who did things that they had to heal from, but they still chose to honor Christ. And I will honor Christ with my life because he only has good things to bring to the planet, only incredible miracles of healing and transformation. And I want to be the vessel who communicates that. And I want you to have your shot at having everything that your heart ever desired. You deserve it. That is what the Christ comes to bring, God and all of his riches to the planet. But it's you must choose to align with love. You must choose to align with God to have that. God is a being, a person that you have to have a relationship with. You don't just love him, and I've been watching, classes. You don't just love him for his gifts. You love God for God. And because you have that relationship with love, that is where all your good comes from, naturally and easily from that relationship. And so I will be a beacon inviting you to have all of your good, to have riches abundant, because that is what you're worthy of as a child of God. And I will speak well of the wonderful teachers on this planet, Jeff and Shaleia, and of course the whole community who is continuing to embody this beautiful work. I will speak very positively of them because they are the beacon for the planet right now, showing us the way home. And it's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And so thank you for taking the time to listen to this message. I just invite you to claim all that God has for you. It is so good. And it is a journey from horse and buggy to Ferrari, I will tell you, but God will lead you on that journey. And I'm not being condescending in saying that, I'm saying, comparing people's life to that. This is my personal experience of somebody who experienced the horse and buggy and experienced the Ferrari and is still learning to respect that gift. True love. I mean, I think anybody can agree that true love is beyond words. Is the pearl of great price that is worth anything. And that's what I want to be a messenger for. Thank you for listening. Many blessings. Till next time.